If you missed out on NVIDIA's insane stock market rally, well, you've been given a second chance with the cryptocurrency markets, particularly a cryptocurrency called Render. AI is transforming the world as well as investors' net worths. And the one thing AI needs the most, computing power. This is where Render comes in. But the first rule of investing, of course, is you don't want to invest in an asset that you don't understand, although a lot of us can do that sometimes. So, look, I want to break down exactly what the Render cryptocurrency is and how it works. So, if you're new to investing in cryptocurrencies, or maybe just new to the Render token, then this video is for you. I will be explaining it so simply that even a complete beginner can hopefully understand what this coin is all about. No technical background is going to be required here. And make sure, of course, that you stick around until the end of the video, as I'll be breaking down and outlining some of the key risks and opportunities of investing in the crypto token to help you avoid FOMOing in and making those costly beginner mistakes, hopefully, anyway. Before we dive in, of course, I have to give you this quick disclaimer. No one has paid us to make this explainer video. This information in this video is provided to you for free for educational purposes. This is not a recommendation for you to run out and FOMO buy or FOMO sell or even hold the particular cryptocurrency in discussion here. If you appreciate this kind of free information, then please do share this with your friends who may also find it useful or helpful. And of course, for full portfolio disclosures, please see the link in the description on YouTube or in the pinned comment on X. There you can see all of my current cryptocurrency holdings. By the way, I don't currently hold Render, as well as my venture investments. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. It's also a risk statement there on investing in crypto because you can lose all your money. Never forget that. Okay, so let's get started. What is Render? Simply put, the Render network aims to be the Amazon Web Services of the cryptocurrency market. The Render network is a peer-to-peer marketplace for computer processing power. Yes, Render is taking on the big boys like Amazon Web Services. For that, they're going to need their big boy pants. AWS buys up computer chips and graphic cards from the likes of NVIDIA and then uses those to create massive data servers, allowing users all over the world to host their own content like websites, videos, and images. But the problem with AWS is that the servers are all centralized. And that's not the future of the internet, is it? It's all owned and operated and profited on by Amazon. So there's a single point of failure here. The data is owned by Amazon, and if their data servers go down, so too does whatever it is you're working on. Then we enter Render. Render is an image and video rendering network founded in 2017 by Jules Urbach, CEO of rendering company Otoy. The Render network allows data providers to be able to rent out their own processing power to content creators for a fee. Anyone looking to host their 3D designs or their animations or motion graphics or whatever, these people making the content could be movie studios, could be architects, could be NFT artists, metaverse developers, interior designers, or just animators looking for a way to help share their content and produce it faster. So rather than the entire network hosted by just one company like AWS, it's actually hosted and managed by the Render community of computers all over the world. A decentralized network, a decentralized AWS. The fee owed to the data providers for completing each job gets paid in the Render token. But this business model actually changed in 2023. It's a very important update. More on that in a minute, so stay tuned. Users can upload their content or designs to the network, and once rendered, will display, of course, as a high-resolution image or video. Render, under the hood, evaluates the processing power actually required for rendering each piece of content that's uploaded to the network, each of the services essentially. It then distributes that workload out to the available processing power right throughout the network. This process is managed by an algorithm designed to optimize for project allocation known as proof of render. The computers with the available processing power then thus render the content, produce the output, and the job is verified on the blockchain. Once this work is all complete, then the people creating the content will pay the data providers a fee that's representative of the resources that were required to actually render the content. Now, before we break down the RNDR token, what it does, why it's important to the network, let me interrupt the flow real quick to let you know about the best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency business. It's my newsletter, and it's called Wealth Mastery. So every single week, we are bringing you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, and the best money making alpha and insights in the cryptocurrency market. We're covering hot airdrops, altcoin news, altcoin deep dives, NFTs, technical analysis tutorials, and much, much more. You can join our 100,000 plus weekly readers and sign up for free using the link down below in the description or in the pinned comment on X. Now that you understand what the render network does and how it works, well, let's talk about the fuel of the render network, the render token. So render's RNDR token is fundamental to the network. Initially, the render token was the fee given to the data providers as compensation for the resources that they're providing into the network. But this actually all changed back in 2023 when the render community voted 100% in favor of a new, better token economic model. This new model is called the burn and mint equilibrium and is a little more complex than the previous model. So let's try to simplify it for you. This was designed to create a balance between the supply and demand and processing power. Each content piece that needs to be rendered is now priced in US dollars, and upon completion, the content creator burns the equivalent amount of render tokens, thus reducing the overall token supply. Pretty cool. This allows the algorithm to calculate the resources required in a much more precise way than the previous three-tiered static pricing model. So to make sure that the data providers still get paid, new render tokens will be created during the set blocks of time and distributed out as rewards. Now, let's talk about the render tokens supply and its distribution. So Render has a maximum supply of 536 million tokens. When the token was initially launched way back in the day, man, way back, it's been years, there were 4.65 million tokens sold. In total, there is 25% of the total supply allocated to the public, 10% allocated to the reserves, 10% allocated to the team, whilst a total of 55% is kept aside for the render user development fund. Now, at the time of recording, there are around 378 million tokens available in circulation. Render has wasted no time in getting out there and planting the seeds for integrating with big tech to help boost its capabilities. First up, for example, Apple has introduced a new rendering feature called Octane X, which can be downloaded through Mac and iPad app stores. Why are we talking about this? Of course, the company behind this feature is led by Render's founder. Interesting, right? Render hopes to expand the feature out to the iPhone, which would drive massive interest in the token if they're successful in linking that up. Another product from Render's founder is the Archive app, which has been released on Apple's Vision Pro headset. Are you seeing the picture yet? Are you getting all the details here? Google and Microsoft has also integrated with Render to bring Microsoft's Azure and Google's A2 virtual machines to the network. Render also has a pretty impressive list of advisors here, including legendary movie maker J.J. Abrams. explosions. Yeah, explosions. Of course, he worked on famous exploding movies like Star Wars, Star Trek, and Mission Impossible. We also have Ari Emanuel, who is an advisor to Render, and he's the CEO of Endeavor, which is a major entertainment and media agency representing some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Again, pretty interesting, right? Right throughout the entertainment industry, we're seeing big connections here. But before you go and say, wow, it's all amazing, I'm going to FOMO into Render right now because it has Hollywood and big tech on its side. This is amazing. Let us first finish the video and consider the potential risks and opportunities of actually doing that. So in November 2023, the Render network completed the migration of its infrastructure from the Ethereum network right over to the Solana blockchain. Now, you may be scratching your head a little bit thinking, well, why would you move away from Ethereum? Isn't that like the best blockchain? That's where all the developers are. That's where all the big money is, all the big liquidity, all the actions happening over there. Well, Render's founder, he thinks otherwise. And he is hoping that the move to Solana is going to be a big opportunity to actually scale up. He said, moving to Solana is a watershed moment for Render that unlocks major new capabilities, such as real-time streaming and dynamic NFTs. He goes on, Solana's incredible transaction speeds, low costs, and commitment to web scale architecture make it a perfect fit for the Render network as we continue building a scalable and decentralized metaverse infrastructure. End quote. Now, look, depending on how you feel about Solana, this could be a really, really big opportunity for you, or you could see it as a really big risk because of Solana's downtimes and stuff like that. So I'll leave you to make that decision. When it comes to Render's price action, it's probably also going to follow along pretty strongly with broader narratives around the AI market movements, which I'm generally pretty bullish on AI overall. Just to put that out there. When OpenAI announced the launch of its text to video AI model called Sora, AI related crypto tokens jumped 7.7% on average within the 24 hours of announcing that. Render was up around 12%. So you can see it's very linked to general AI hype. So to some extent, Render's price is dependent on how well the broader AI sector performs, which again, I'm generally pretty bullish on AI, but you will see big slumps in that as well. So be ready for that. And just like with any cryptocurrency, there's of course risk involved as it's a speculative investment based on future technology and adoption, which despite all the big backers and big names and all that kind of stuff is not a guarantee. But a factor that will really probably make or break Render and its future success, of course, is network effect. To succeed, Render will need to take market share away from the big dogs, those centralized versions from big tech like Amazon Web Services, and it will have to fend off fierce competition from lots of other competitors beyond just AWS, CrowdRender, Blender Cloud, and others coming up in the crypto space. In general, blockchains are more expensive to operate and maintain than a centralized server, but moving over to Solana is going to solve that problem a bit for them. Anyway, Render will need massive economies of scale for long-term sustainability and long-term profit for token holders. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.